So apologies for not having made a video in a while. I've been meaning to, but in the meantime I figured that I would try and keep up with the audience on Facebook, the fan page for this channel, which there's a link to that page in the description. But getting into the subject of this video, that's what I want to talk about. So when I post something on Facebook, it will say, or at least on the fan page, not my personal page, it will say something like, this has reached X number of people. And it's usually a number less than the number of people who have liked the page, which I'm sort of used to. Being on YouTube, maybe 1/10 of the people who have subscribed to my channel watch any given video that I upload. But there's something different going on, apparently, with Facebook, as I've learned. There's a couple of videos linked in the description which you should watch. But the quick version of this is that essentially what Facebook is now doing is that, say you have a page like the fan page for this channel, and you have X number of followers, they'll send out your post to a certain number of people, and if they respond to it, then they'll send it out to some more people, and then if it does well after that, they will hassle you non-stop to try and convince you to promote that post. Which basically means they want you to pay to reach the people that have ostensibly liked your page so that they can receive your posts. You can also have it so that their friends, you know, the friends of friends, also receive that post, which those people didn't like the page, so why should they be subjected to something that they didn't, you know, it's like they didn't sign on for that, so why are they being put into it? Now, for me, I guess it's not as big of a deal, although it makes me less apt to use Facebook for interacting with the audience. I figured that it would be a good thing to have, because when I'm not posting videos, I mean, that's pretty much all YouTube's good for. It has very little other social media capacity. So with Facebook, I can post links to articles, give, you know, status updates, and more people have Facebook than Twitter and check it more regularly. I have a Twitter and I hardly ever use it anymore, hardly ever pay attention to what's going on it. At most I have some things daisy chained through it so that if, say, for example, when I upload this video, it will automatically send out a thing on Twitter, you know, saying that I've uploaded this video, and so forth. And I really don't see any other thing other than Facebook that has the flexibility of posting article links and whatnot, links to other videos. If I like a video, I want to share it with the people who have liked my page. That doesn't have limitations like Twitter does. That actually has a substantial number of you know, people involved on the platform. So Facebook seemed like the best option. Now I've learned that they're basically doing this whole pay-to-play thing. If you actually want people to read what you've posted, or for that post to get to them, they want you to pay to promote the post. Apparently they're also filtering your regular content based on what you think that you should see. So if you engage with certain people more than others and ignore certain people, those people's posts drop from your feed, and you basically just get more and more of the people you interact with most. And of course you have the option to stop following the feeds of certain people altogether, and I've done that. Why I don't just unfriend them, I still can't quite psychologically reconcile in my mind. I guess all of this got me thinking of, aside from the fact that it really pisses me off, because I would like to be able to have a platform in which I can share things with the audience, you know, that isn't simply uploading a video. Like I said, YouTube's pretty much only good for one thing. It's for uploading videos. I don't have the time or energy all the time to constantly make videos, and it's actually quite stupid to make a video on every little thing that pops into my head, whereas with the Facebook page I can share more stuff and interact more without going through the effort of making a video. But that no longer seems like a good idea, and there seems to be few alternatives, which it sort of brings it around to the subject of social media and how everybody is on Facebook nowadays. And I remember back in the day that there was this sense in which the user really seemed to be in control of social media, and for a while things like YouTube just they bled money. They weren't really making a profit, and it took them a while to re-engineer the site towards actually being profitable. And I've seen that evolution and how that's reshaped the way that YouTube works. And Facebook is another example where, or sites before it like MySpace, for example, seemed like they were very user-oriented, and now things have swung around and they're very advertising and profit-oriented. So I guess somewhere in the back of my brain is Marshall McLuhan saying the medium is the message. So I look at a lot of these changing social dynamics with how people interact with social media to be interesting. And I guess I'll end this video by recommending a documentary called Generation Like by Douglas Rushkoff. You can view it, link in the description. It's a PBS Frontline. It's actually a kind of sequel to what is one of my favorite PBS Frontline documentaries of all time, which is called The Merchants of Cool, also by Douglas Rushkoff. And looking back at The Merchants of Cool, that was kind of like how media and advertising was when I was growing up and when I was a teenager. I actually remember, being in New York and visiting Times Square, because we were staying in a hotel that was like a couple blocks from Times Square, visiting Times Square during TRL and seeing that whole spectacle, and remembering a lot of the stuff talked about in The Merchants of Cool. And in this newer documentary, the one that I'm recommending, Generation Like, it sort of updates that, brings it into the now, and says how all of those marketing tactics from Merchants of Cool are pretty much made irrelevant by social media, and now the actual individual person has become the market researcher and basically doing all of the legwork for the people who used to actually have to go out into the field and cool hunt. But now it's just, okay, let's look at a statistic sheet of how many people liked Mountain Dew, what's their age bracket, and all these other information about them. Most Mountain Dew drinkers are 18 to 24-year-old white males, blah blah blah, that sort of thing, or whatever their statistics is. And it's totally reshaped the way media and advertising works. So if you're interested in that, check it out in the description. Tell me what you think.